a great day to be alive on this Monday, ladies and gentlemen. Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. My name is Ben Brust. Alongside Packer backer of the show, you be the judge. His name is Kyle Wallace. What's up, Kyle?
Only judging is the fact that I am a Packer backer. Ain't nothing to judge there.
Longtime NFL punter, Super Bowl 50 runner-up. Nothing but good things to say about this guy. His name's Brad Nortman.
I like the ladies and gentlemen coming in. That's very like Greatest Showman-esque is really kind of the vibes I got.
Ooh,
good way to start the week.
You know
Ben.
that is one of my favorite movies.
I do know that.
You know, Brad,
It's a great movie.
I'm never gonna get out my head the fact
this is
that
the
you.
moment you've waited for.
Oh wow. I'm never gonna get out my head the fact that you told me a story about the fact that you showered with Cam Newton and you still remember it to this day.
It was a
You
core
can't
memory
let
for
that
me.
go.
No, it's pretty weird.
It's a core memory. You would, hey Kyle, you would remember it too.
Oh wow. Oh, wow.
Hey.
You would remember the interaction.
Hey.
Man.
800-990-3776. Not here to talk about Brad and Cam Newton in the shower today. We're also on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison for you to get involved. Alex Strofe back from his wedding, running the show. Strofe, 1 to 10, what are you?
Oh, dude, I'm at like a 9.5. Voice probably closer to like a 7. Still feeling the after effects a bit, but I'm good to go. Good to be back.
After
man.
effects of what? Like, are you a big, like, screaming the song dancer at the wedding?
Yeah, I was singing, I was dancing. Humble brag, I was a groomsman, so like getting after pretty good all day.
Is that a humble brag?
For real, like why
Cool,
is that a
no one
humble
really
brag?
cares.
I won't say, yeah,
Cool.
for sure.
No speech for you though, right?
No, the only time I had a microphone in my hand was to introduce the mother of the bride because she wanted me to.
Get out of here. How did that unfold?
It was very brief. I just said, biologically, the reason we're all here. Here's Wendy.
Nailed it.
I think she was
Why did
underwhelmed.
she choose you? I mean, like, I get you got a good radio voice, but like, how did it come up that, hey, Alex Strofe should introduce?
It happened very moment. I don't know.
Wow.
I really don't know. I don't remember.
Way to step up, though.
Hey, thanks, Brad. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, the Packers are done playing preseason game. Let's get a round of applause for that. Yeah. Big victory. Bad ending.
Big one.
Anders Carlson. We're not starting there. We will get to Anders. But goodness gracious, I mean, it is bad how much must-watch TV it is in the worst way possible to see what's going down with the kickers. But, Brad, I want to toss this to you because you've been probably the most vocal about wanting to see game reps over joint practice and just practice reps and making that your whole preseason. Whether that be you're an old head, right? You know, you had 4 weeks of preseason games and all this training camp and you just had your shoes around on your back, kicked and punted whenever you wanted. But that being said, you saw something that raised the eyebrows.
Yeah, I did. And maybe I am an old head. Maybe it comes down to that. I mean, clearly I wasn't the one doing the hard work out there with my other teammates. But listen, the Packers got the vet treatment. This young Packer team got the vet treatment from Matt LaFleur. Of the offense playing 1 series, all of 3 plays, and the defense playing just 1 series, 2 against the Jameis Winston-led Browns. And I get that Matt LaFleur wants to expose them to game-like situations and 1-versus-1s and joint practices. But I just look at this and say, Matt LaFleur is treating this team like they're a bunch of vets, and they're still young. They still need work together. And I don't think we can leave the preseason experience for the Green Bay Packers and feel like it was complete. It feels a little bit incomplete to me, because of the very limited game reps and that it was kind of hit or miss during joint practices. So to me, I am under a little bit of fear that the Packers are going to start slow because Matt LaFleur is giving them the vet treatment. I think they should have played more. And I looked up some other quarterbacks. Guys, Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs starting offense played in 2 games for a total of 3 drives. And those were long, sustained drives. Patrick Mahomes probably got, I'm guessing here, probably 25 plays in. Think about that, to Jordan Love's 3. And Patrick Mahomes is the most established, best player in the NFL. And the Chiefs, who won 2 straight Super Bowls, are still making an effort to get preseason action in. I get that it's a team-wide decision, and not every team is. For instance, the Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts got 0 snaps. So you choose based on your situation. But I look at it and say, gosh, if Patrick Mahomes...
Gosh darn
it. If Patrick Mahomes is getting 2 games, 3 drives, and all the starters, why aren't the Green Bay Packers getting more? I'm a little bit concerned they're going to start slow next Friday night in Brazil.
I just find it interesting that you think they're going to start a little slow Friday night, but you just mentioned Jalen Hurts didn't play a single snap.
He didn't.
He didn't play a single snap.
It should have been to the Packers'
good spin
advantage.
zone, Kyle.
So do you think Jalen Hurts might be a little slow, might be a little off?
He might be, but they
Might be a
have
little
more
rusty.
veterans. They have more veterans on that team.
Listen, I agree, Brad. I would have liked them to play. We talked about this extensively. I would have liked them to play in the preseason a little bit more, but they did. And you know what? I'm good with it. You know why? Because Matt LaFleur saw what he needed to see on Thursday. Thursday was the measuring stick day. Thursday was, let me see how this young team responds from getting beat up a week before, and they responded exactly how he expected them to respond, and they responded in a good way for it to be a learning lesson for them to know that when we get into the season, and it's going to be ebbs and flows, ups and downs, good and bad for the Green Bay Packers this year, but how your team responds after the bad is what he was looking for. Because at the end of the day, we know the talent that this team has specifically on offense, and it wasn't about getting game film. It was about the fact that they had an opportunity to basically create this culture, have this attitude, have some grit about them. That's what he was looking for. He wasn't looking for how well, they got in a preseason game, can they execute? No, he was looking for how they responded with the grit that you need in order to be a champion. And so that's why I say, you know what? I'm okay with the Green Bay Packers and Matt LaFleur not playing them in the preseason game because they showed exactly what they needed to. They went in there and kicked the butts of the Ravens, not only in the joint practice, but then followed it up and did it in the game as well.
800-990-3776. It's Kyle Bruston-Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin as we are discussing the Green Bay Packers not playing their starters in the preseason finale. And Brad, look, I think you bring up a really good point about the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. And anytime you have a dynasty or a dynasty in the making, right? What does every team want to do? They want to be that dynasty. They want to be like that dynasty. But for me, I still am with Kyle here. I've said from the beginning.
What a way to start a Monday.
You and I being on the same team.
Yeah, man. It's going to be a good week, 3-day week for you.
Here's because you know why? We're talking at 2:07 p.m. on Monday. And guess what we're not talking about? No added injuries to the injury report. And look, there's value to being on the field. There's value to getting game reps. But if Matt LaFleur, the coach that's been to 4 of the last 5 seasons, been to the playoffs and led this team that has, I'd probably say 80% of the guys that were part of last year's team is probably on this year's team, they've been through a season together. He knows what to expect of them. And if in Matt LaFleur's mind, in his expectations of his team, if they met what he was looking for in the preseason joint practice finale of when we saw the starters, if that was good enough for Matt, I'm not going to sit up here and be like, you know what, Matt LaFleur, he's an idiot. He should have played the starters. They only had 3 against the Browns. Dontavian Wicks had a long play. I'm just not, because you know why? They are in a good spot in terms of health heading into next Friday's start of the season. And ultimately, it's just hard for me to sit here and be like, if they played a sustained 7-8 drive play on Saturday, whoo-wee, Eagles better watch out. I just have a hard time sitting here and translating preseason snaps to, all right, this is now what's going to be what happens in Friday. Played great. They're going to play great on Friday against the Eagles.
But the historic Packer teams under Matt LaFleur, there's a direct correlation.
Have made the playoffs for the last 5 years.
They have, but the times that the Packers did not play anybody in the preseason, and look, I don't think you should necessarily play Aaron Rodgers in the preseason and maybe Devontae Adams. But when they didn't play in the preseason, what happened in those years? You're talking about playing the New Orleans Saints and the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, the Packers getting boat raced. I mean, absolutely embarrassed week 1. The one year that they actually looked really good was last year against the Bears, and we saw Jordan Love and the first team offense, the to-be first team offense, get into a really good rhythm, look good, look really comfortable in those games. I just think, I agree with what you're saying. You're totally right, Ben. 1, to come out healthy, huge plus. Love to see that, and not every team can say that. And you're right, Kyle. It's important to see how they responded.
Did you hear that? Ben, you're right. Kyle, you're right. You better
But-
say something good here.
Real recognize real.
Yeah, I'm appreciating what you guys are bringing to the table. And you're right, Kyle. He had to see what this Packer team was going to do when they were facing adversity. No doubt about it. I would just like to see that final test, like the response to adversity doesn't feel complete to me because they just did it in practice. I want to see them take that momentum, take that rhythm into a game.
It was last week, Kyle, that I asked Brad, how many times during the season did any of your head coaches reference the preseason as a reason why success or failure was on the field for the NFL season?
I think for week 1 it matters. Week 10, you're not saying, "Oh, hey guys, remember the preseason adversity we like dealt with." But for week 1, I do think it has a direct correlation.
Brad, I think these joint practices that you did in your Hear Brad Out are very important for the Green Bay Packers. And when it comes to this last preseason game, the Packers had no need to throw guys out there. Ben made a great point about that. And then, again, Ben made a great point about injuries, and you made a great point about Jalen Hurts and many other players on the Eagles not playing. And what I love about this Green Bay Packers football team, it just – based off what they did last year, and I know they practiced last year or they had the preseason game and they went in and they beat up on the Bears, I feel like this team is going to be hungry because they're going against an opponent where they feel like they need to measure themselves against something. Whereas when they played the New Orleans Saints, they're like, all right, we're one of the top dogs here. We don't need to measure ourselves. You play against the Vikings, okay, you know what? We're one of the top dogs here. We don't need to measure ourselves. This team still has a chip on their shoulder, and they have an opportunity to go up against the Eagles team that they could meet again in the NFC Championship, and they understand that. So the motivation is already going to be there for the Green Bay Packers to be locked, loaded, and focused and ready to go when it comes to week 1. So
What's going on with Alex Strofe back there? You're like cheesing and smiling. Like, do you still think you're at a wedding?
No, it's everybody's telling everybody they're making great points. Why are we being so complimentary of one another?
Well, because
what
it's
happened
true.
while I was gone?
No,
you were gone. You were gone. We all just got along.
Be mean to each other. To say that was a crap take. It was bad.
I mean, Brad.
I'll call it out if it is.
Oh, Brad's take
you, Brad.
when it comes to them
That's
needing
too nice to call people
I
out.
see it.
Okay, I'll just ask you guys straight up. Does this Packer team, this young Packer team, probably the youngest team in the NFL again, do they deserve the vet treatment in preseason games?
No, they didn't deserve the vet treatment.
So
but
why are they getting
it is what it is. And the thing is, Brad, is I was upset a Monday ago. Last Monday, I was more upset because of the performance that we saw on Friday in the joint practice and then the performance that we saw in the game. I was frustrated with this team, and I needed to see more. But you know what changed in a week?
You saw more?
I saw the Green Bay Packers perform
You
very well.
You were up at 1265 at Ray Nitschke Field and you watched practice?
Okay, reports that the Packers performed well, and that's exactly what I needed, and that led to Matt LaFleur making the decision that his guys were not going to play, and that's exactly what you needed to see. You didn't need to see Jordan Love lead the team out on offense in the preseason. You needed to see him lead that offense out against the Baltimore Ravens and do exactly what he did.
Yeah, you know what? Strofe, you're right. 800-990-3776. Brad, you're an idiot.
What?
Yeah, you know why?
Why?
Just because the Chiefs do it doesn't make it the end-all, be-all.
I think it's a good indicator.
Doesn't mean that it was a smart move by Andy Reid to put his guys at risk when he has a veteran in Patrick Mahomes and an old Travis Kelce and all those guys. I'll just say Andy Reid's just getting too old. The game's passing him by. You know, bad take by you, Brad.
Yeah, it's showing. It's showing.
I'm glad Strofe said to be mean to everybody.
No, but I mean, all
You guys better watch out. I'm coming in after all of you.
In all honesty,
Guns
though,
a-blazing.
I do think the Green Bay Packers are going to be ready because one thing about sports, as you both know, is all about confidence and feeling good about yourself. And the Packers were able to go in and take care of business and feel good about themselves. And then on Saturday, they were able to go play really well and again feel good about themselves. So now they don't have this nasty taste in their mouth from the way they performed against the Broncos. They're going into the season riding a little bit higher, but understanding you have to make sure that you're giving full effort or what happened against the Broncos can happen again. So that's why I feel like this was a perfect ending to the preseason.
800-990-3776. Mel in Lemuria?
Lamira? Oh, goodness.
What up, Mel?
Hey, thanks for taking my call. Lamira is correct. I don't think LaFleur is treating them as though they're veterans. He's treating them as though they're going to be day one starters. And I'd rather be discussing the fact that, did they get enough playing time? Or Jordan Love blew his knee out in preseason game number 2 trying to get some more reps. I don't put a whole lot of stock into the preseason, just like you had said. I'm not that far removed from watching Jordy Nelson blow out his knee in a preseason game against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I mean, not powerful that he hurt his knee.
We are so scarred from that. We are so scarred from that.
Mel hit it.
Yeah.
Mel hit it. I don't. Brad, your question about giving the vet treatment. They're the starters in the NFL. They've been through an entire season. You do have more vets than we've realized, right? Jordan Love has been in the NFL for 5 years. Do we want to see more? Yeah, but you also have to protect your asset that you want for the long term.
Especially when you got trash behind him.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
I mean, that's true, too. But I will say, though, you have to then take the other side of that coin. You have to then say, okay, I'm willing to risk a slow start to the season. And losing to a team that you might face in the NFC Championship.
There are hiccups in week one in every team. Every team
maybe week one determines a home playoff game. So is that worth it? Is it worth, hey, I'm going to get maybe a couple extra reps, couple extra drives for our offense so we feel really good to try to be our best week one? Well, or we're going to pull our foot off the pedal and we're going to chill.
I got to cover the barcode because this is a real bet. We got Packers to win the division right here as a show. So, Brad, I hope you're wrong. And Kyle, I hope we're both right. That doesn't matter. And week one, they get it done against the Philadelphia Eagles. 800-990-3776. Kyle, Bruston, Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Obscure kickoff times. Brad's a fan. I'm a fan. I don't know what Kyle thinks. I don't know what Stroh thinks. And I want to know what you think. Coming up next.
You're listening to Kyle Bruston Nortman.
We've called him Whitey Tighties. We've called him the Hall Monitor. He's Jesse Nelson. Like he's just, I'm Jesse Nelson. Kyle, you're Jesse Nelson.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Busch Light is not only as cold and smooth as the mountain stream, it's also brewed for the farmers and ranchers. Ben Brust here. Join me in saying cheers to those who work in the backbone in the state of Wisconsin. Pick up your limited edition Busch Light corn cans today. For every case of these limited edition cans, Busch Light is donating to Farm Rescue. Pick up Busch Light corn cans today, wherever you get your delicious beer. Offer good through August 31st, 2024, up to $200,000. Eligible package sizes 15 packs, 18 packs, 24 packs, and 30 packs. Case equal 24-pack case equivalent. Enjoy responsibly. 2024 Anheuser-Busch. Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson, and once again, Prep Mania is under the Thursday night lights in week 2 of the high school football season. Catholic Memorial State Powerhouse comes to Sun Prairie to take on the Sun Prairie West Wolves. Catholic Memorial, Sun Prairie West. Coverage starts at 6:30 with kickoff at 7 o'clock Thursday night on 100.5 ESPN and streaming live on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
I knew that we were going to be getting engaged soon and needed to do some ring shopping. Heard the radio ads of Chalmers and decided, hey, we should give it a shot at Chalmers.
They were just awesome at accepting us through the door and understanding what she wanted in terms of how she wanted it, and they delivered.
Everybody always is telling me how sparkly my ring is. They tell me that they really like the style of the ring and the setting that it's in. I am ecstatic with it.
Thank you, Chalmers.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
At the Home Depot, we know you can't control everything, like when your guests arrive too early for Saturday college football. But you can control your grill. With the Traeger Timberline XL, you can watch the game, not the grill. Monitor your football feast from anywhere using the Traeger app. With the Timberline XL, you can bake, smoke, sear, fry, and saute. That's Desmond Howard level versatility.
Huddle up, the food's done.
Defend your game time with Traeger and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Are you ready to build your company's dream team? Just like in sports, finding skilled players is essential for success. With Robert Half's winning combination of specialized recruiting professionals and award-winning AI, we'll help you find the MVPs and key role players who will have you hanging banners in the rafters. Because in business, it's all about having the experienced team on your side. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com today.
Hi, it's Eric from Canopy Wealth Management. We're an independent, fee-based firm specializing in customized investment management, tax-aware wealth planning, and personalized client service. We're a steward along your financial journey because you deserve more than a run-of-the-mill experience. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Pizza Hut just changed the combo game with the new My Hut Box. Get your choice of a 2-topping personal pan pizza, a half melt or a full melt, and your choice of either boneless wings or fries. It's the ultimate solo meal starting at only $6.99. Craving pizza and wings? You got it. Want melts and fries? You got it. Because this meal is all about you. Perfect for a speedy lunch, a relaxing dinner for one, or anytime you're on the go. Head to pizzahut.com to order your My Hut Box today. That's pizzahut.com. No one out pizzas the Hut.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, brought to you by Busch Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Madison YouTube channel, and Wisconsin On Demand. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Come back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back.
Hanging out with you, KBN Nation at 800-990-3776. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman here with you, gearing up for football season. It's real. It's almost here. I guess it's already here. College football happened, but I'm an NFL guy.
It's kind of like an appetizer,
Yeah.
to the NFL. Well, not for my Wisconsin Badgers, but this last weekend especially. It's just but a taste.
Week 0 is dumb branding. We can all agree, right?
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't understand the week 0.
I will never understand it. 0 is not technically a number. This is week 1.
What do you mean it's not technically a number?
Well, you can't quantify it, right? So if it's week 0, that means it never happened. That means it's non-existent.
Well, I think 0 is a number, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's technically a number.
Okay, so why would you
But
say
it's not.
something
It's
like
not quantifiable. It means nothing.
0's not quantifiable.
Well, it's before week 1.
I think
Call it week -1.
It's ground 0.
But then how would you pass? You can't. The intervals would be unequal.
A child, when they're
From
born,
-1
0.
to 1 is 2. And then you go to 1 to 2, 3, 4.
No, you're right. Theoretically,
There you go, Brad.
You are correct. But I would rather it be called -1 because at least then you can quantify it. It means it's actually the one before something actually happens. To be 0, it means nothing.
So you just don't like that something.
I don't know
is
who the hell could potentially be calling
the
right now.
absence of value. Yeah, Stroke doesn't like that. It's just the absence of value.
Yeah,
for week
that's
0.
pretty stupid.
All right, so the Badgers
up on
play on a Friday and the Packers play on a Friday. Are we good with this? Do we like this? Are we fans of this? Are you fans of this?
I like it. As a player, I hated it. I mean, I hated playing in obscure days and times. But as a fan, you know what? I was kind of against it at first. I was like, darn it, I want my teams to play in the normal times in the marquee slots. But to change it up every once in a while, a couple times a season at least, I like it. I like it. It feels like you're borrowing football, right? Because you're still going to get all day Saturday of normal college football, but you get to borrow that excitement on Friday night for the Wisconsin Badgers and Friday night for the Green Bay Packers. And it frees up that day if you want to step away and do some things, or you get to watch the games that you would have otherwise missed because you're going to watch the Badgers and the Packers first, of course. So I like it. I feel like I'm getting extra football on top of it.
It makes me get to my team a little bit earlier. So week 1, it's like, oh, okay, cool. I don't have to wait until Sunday to watch the Green Bay Packers, or I don't have to wait until Saturday to watch the Wisconsin Badgers. But once you get past week 1, where I'm now into that mode of consistency of Badgers on Saturday, so I'm going to make sure I get my day going and I can watch the Badgers, and Packers on Sunday, I really don't like messing up my flow of things. Friday nights typically are, hey, I'm getting off of work. Let's go have a good time. Let's party. But not like being legit. I was making plans for this Friday. I said, holiday weekend, probably hop on the boat. I was inviting people on the boat. And then I looked at my schedule. I said, wait a minute. The Badgers play Friday. I can't miss the Badgers playing Friday, go kick it out there on the river. So it messes up my flow of things.
He's got a boat.
The boat guy.
None of you guys want to come on.
I think Brad nailed it. 800-990-3776 because on Friday when the Packers play, I can scout. I become a scout for the NFL. I mean, in my own brain, I don't get paid for it.
Explain this scouting thing here.
Okay. Well, part of it is obviously there's a lot of people who play fantasy football. I love tracking all that. But at the same time, I set up 3 TVs. I'm a dork, so I make sure I have Sunday tickets. So one TV, I can pick whatever game I want to watch. TV number 2 has the local Fox game. TV number 3 is the local CBS game. I have access to every single snap of NFL football on Sundays at all time. And if the Packers play Friday, I am watching all of those games on Sunday. And for the Badgers on Friday, yes, 8 o'clock. I'm sure my fiance's family will be asleep, and I'll be watching the game by myself at the lake house this Friday. And then I don't know how much time I'll have to myself Saturday and Sunday because I'm with their family. But if I was home, I'd be watching all the rest of college football.
How do you determine which TV has the volume on of the three TV setup?
Well, if the Packers are playing, Packers are volume no matter what. But also, you have all three remotes, and you put the volume exactly where you want it, and then you mute and just...
Seems like a lot of work.
So you got 3 remotes
Bro,
in
it's
your
the
hands.
command
Mute,
center.
Mute, on, off, mute.
It's a command center. Yes, I feel like I have like all these screens.
Yeah,
and,
you're
like,
not
keyboard.
enjoying watching. You're really focused and
Can I come
you're
visit?
working.
Dude, you would love the command center.
I don't like that you call it that.
Well, then you're not invited. Scott in Watertown, welcome into Kyle, Brust, and Ortman.
Hey, guys. You know, I've been thinking about this for a long time. So over the last 30 years, the University of Wisconsin has established itself as one of the top running back universities in the country, right? And then it has also established itself as one of the top offensive line universities. My problem with the current team is I think that this air raid offense takes both of those things and completely trashes it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you know, watching last year, watching them try to run out of that shotgun made me sick. You know what I mean? I mean, they were on the goal line.
Change is hard.
Right.
So here's the thing, and I want to toss this to Brad because he's been doing a lot of research, but what I will say is you're not alone in those feelings because I feel like all of the times that I watch the Badgers, I immediately texted Brad Nortman. I was like, "Oh, I don't like this. Is different. The 3-5-2 or whatever the defensive scheme was, or the way it looked, the way it felt. It was year one of something different than we're all used to for the last 30 years, right? The way that we build offensive lines, the way that we got talent at running back, it's just different. The thing that does scare me though is we had the conversation about the offensive line, this, that. Like you look at this team and you're like, where's the strength? Where's the core strength? Where are we going to be like, you know what? That's the position group we love. Because like Scott, I do the same thing. I used to go to Badger games all the time and watch every single Badger game. And I didn't care if they crossed the 40. If they crossed the 40 into the Badger side of the football field, I'd be like, it's all right. We're going to get a sack off the edge. One of our linebackers off the edge is going to make a play and they're going to settle for a field goal. I have no faith or have any idea what to believe I should be holding my hat on.
It's a great point. It's one of my concerns about this team. It's almost like the Badgers had a natural resource. You know, like a country has like a natural resource. And it's like, you know what? We're just going to keep, like, we have oil. We're just going to keep on pumping oil, and that's going to be our bread and butter. So we know no matter what, we're going to be able to have a lifeline there. Drill. That was what the Badgers had with O-linemen and running backs. It was like, you know what? We don't know exactly if we'll ever be Bama, but we know we're going to sustain ourselves with this natural resource that they cultivated. My concern is their new system, both air raid on offense and on defense, which is kind of just more skill-based, a lot less pressure and things like that. It's not conducive to the recruiting that we're used to. It's not conducive to the advantage of attracting offensive linemen and running backs. We used to get top offensive linemen and top running backs, no problems. This new system doesn't emphasize that. So what this new program is betting that we can go out and recruit all the people we need for this thing. I don't know if they can yet. That has yet to be determined because the offensive line, it's less forward. Now it's more back, right? Speed over power. And even running backs, they're looking more for like speed running backs as opposed to the speed power combination. So
see,
it's very
right now,
different.
I've loved the KBN Nation callers today because they're getting like these questions and thoughts are based on the fact that like real football is here, and now they're like, am I going to be watching something I'm going to enjoy, or am I going to be like Kyle Wallace, my team is losing, and turn off the TV and throw the remote?
Yeah, it's going to be very, very skeptical, but we'll see. I think Whereas with the Wisconsin Badgers, I feel like they're going to be a lot better this year, right? So for the caller who just called in, you should be optimistic about what you're going to see with this football team. Because remember, it's year 2. And as Ben said, change happens, and you have to be able to be patient when change happens. And I think in year 2, you're going to be able to see some of the things that you expected from that air raid offense last year. It was a little ridiculous of us to think that air raid was going to come in here and be the dairy raid, and it's going to be, tear it up. We got guys like Braylon Allen. Braylon Allen is a big boy. He ain't one cut and go. He's trying to run people over unless he's running out of bounds because he's trying to protect his body. But it was, some issues with the Wisconsin Badgers offense last year. The defense didn't have the pieces. And so you should be confident that this is going to be a better product on the field. Will the results be different? The Big Ten Conference is different, so the results may
tough
be
schedule this year.
It may be 7 or 8 wins, but it's going to look more pretty this year, prettier 7 to 8 wins than it is this year than what it was last year.
I just even saying that out loud from an expectation standpoint, it's going to be a pretty 7 to 8 wins. That was the floor. That was my floor, and I know things have changed.
Your floor didn't have Oregon. Your floor didn't have USC.
I know.
UCLA,
I'm adding that
Washington.
into calculations in my brain, but just because you add it into your brain doesn't mean your emotions are ready to feel it on the field.
Yeah, when we went 7-5 my freshman year, it was the worst record we ever had. It was panic button in the building, panic button. And now we're saying 7-5 is probably a more likely scenario than any other. But I think you're right, Kyle. You got to give this program a little bit more time. The question is, they are doing well in recruiting. Can they get those guys to fill their system and have it show on the field?
You're gonna see it right away this year. I promise you this. Not right away at the start of the year, but halfway through, you're gonna see it.
Phil in Cedarburg, recruiting versus developing. You're up on Kyle Brust-Nortman.
Yeah, it seems like these guys are recruiting probably as well. Like you were saying, it's probably better than anybody has at Wisconsin. But Wisconsin was good for so long because we developed guys. We developed those linemen. We developed the running back. We had a system. We took guys that were walk-ons and made them All-Americans. I don't know. I was just wondering as I was listening to you guys, does this era of college football sort of allow for that? Give you the time to develop guys, or is everyone just going to be too impatient and jumping ship to somewhere else?
Another good question from Phil in Cedarburg, and it's a question that not just Wisconsin, it's what every program in America is wondering, is how do I maximize the guys that I have on my team while looking at the transfer portal, looking at incoming freshmen, recruiting my own guys not to leave in the transfer portal. It's a tough question. That's why those coaches get paid a lot, and I don't envy the 24/7 mindset that they have to have, because if you sleep at the wrong day when someone wants to leave and you don't answer the call, they could be gone.
That's exactly right. The transfer portal was what came to mind for me, because when I was there, J.J. Watt, even Russell Wilson wasn't a big recruit. Chris Borland, those guys were all 3 stars and less. They were not highly touted, but they developed them. They went through the hard gauntlet that is to become a non-player at Wisconsin to being a superstar. You can't do that nowadays. People can just get up and leave whenever they want, even if they have success.
Yeah,
they might get up and leave and go to a bigger program with more money.
As they should. You know what? You better take advantage of that money while it's out there.
It's true. It's hard. It's harder today to do this.
A lot of questions, not a lot of confidence. The Badgers' days of big seasons will be rare at best. Once every 15 years if we're lucky.
Stop it.
I wouldn't be able to handle that.
People, this is one thing, is doom and gloom, right? I understand that I am emotional. So when the Packers have a loss, I may be on the downside of it. But then when they have a win, I'm on the upside. But I'm going to tell you this about the Wisconsin Badgers. They ain't going to be once every 15 years. The Badgers are going to be okay. Luke Fickell took Cincinnati, a team that wasn't that great. He took over and got them to a college football playoff.
Before 12 teams.
Before 12 teams. The guy knows how to coach. He knows how to develop, and we are lucky to have them. So let's just calm down. It's not doom and gloom, and let's enjoy us beating the heck out of the Broncos on Friday. Western Michigan Broncos.
We had Ashton Rotman do a horrible Becoming Relevant.
It was bad, huh?
That was horrible. It's the worst Becoming Relevant we had. Already relevant is what we've labeled it for Chris Larson, because he's worked here for a long, long time. He's already relevant. But Mr. Irrelevant was on YouTube. His name is Alex Strofe. 12:30s Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. His time to shine on Kyle Brust-Nortman is next. Don't go anywhere. Becoming Relevant with Alex Strofe is always good.
This is Kyle Brust-Nortman, KBN.
I think it's clear.
Yeah, and if Doc replicates what Booty did last year, or all I'm saying
Come on, guys.
His name is Coach Bud.
If he replicates
Coach Booty.
what Coach Bud.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
For love of the game
There's nothing like being selected to the Olympic team.
and love of their country.
Championship of that level, gold medal, means more.
Tune into Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Inside stories from Bucks stars on the agony and triumph of competing to win it all at the Olympics. It's Behind the Bucks, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
For 71 years, Daniels Construction has been building better futures, people, and communities right here in South Central Wisconsin. As an award-winning contractor, they specialize in a diverse workload and self-performing services. Daniels Construction is proud to be an employee and family-owned business. And as a dedicated youth apprentice employer, you can start or advance your career with their multi-trade opportunities and on-the-job paid training. Build your future with Daniels Construction today. Visit daniels-co.com to learn more.
An unsuspecting driver at a Milwaukee barbershop.
I got an apprentice here shadowing me. I'm gonna put this hot towel on, man. About a good 3 minutes, all right?
The apprentice is Donald Driver.
So when you come here, you drive?
Yes.
Your car got seatbelts?
Yeah.
You wear them?
No.
Okay, but why not?
I don't want to.
But do you know you can get a ticket for that? I'm gonna give you a ticket. Bet you wish you buckle up now.
Oh my God.
Donald Driver can't always be there to remind you.
Take it, click it. There we go. Click it or ticket.
And let's reduce fatalities on Wisconsin roadways. Sponsored by Wisconsin DOT.
Now. We tend not to think about now. We dream about tomorrow, relive yesterday. But right now in front of us is victory over cancer. Right now, cancer research funded by the V Foundation is leading to better treatments and saving lives. Victory over cancer is there for the taking by you, because today's cancer research is tomorrow's victory. Learn more at v.org.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Forward Madison FC's professional soccer season is underway, and they want you to pack out Breeze Stevens Field. Need a night out with the whole family? Try the Forward Madison Family Special presented by MG&E. Score a ticket to the match, a meal, and an FMFC scarf, all for just $25 per person. Visit forwardmadisonfc.com to purchase your tickets today. That's forwardmadisonfc.com. Forward Madison, fun for all.
Hey, Badger fans, fall is right around the corner, and so is the return of Badger football. Experience the excitement of Friday Night Lights at Camp Randall Stadium on August 30th as the Badgers take on Western Michigan. Individual tickets start at just $35, with all-inclusive group packages still available. Visit uwbadgers.com or call 1-800-GO-BADGERS to secure your seats for the Friday night home opener of Wisconsin football on August 30th. That's uwbadgers.com or 1-800-GO-BADGERS.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison, home of the Big Win and Madison Casino Guru, is transforming guests into winners. Making an ordinary day into a big win day is easy with a 95% average payout. And with over 140 daily jackpots, the number of people winning has never been bigger. So what are you waiting for? Escape to Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison for your next big win.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
Derek Jeter for American Family Insurance.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof, because they'll help protect your family's dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, future rocket scientist, we have liftoff, or a budding prima ballerina, you can count on an American Family Insurance agent to help you dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, brought to you by Busch Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Madison YouTube channel, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Weird time to play this song. Because people are literally going back to school.
Well, I played it, Ben.
Nailed it.
There's not a lot of songs that talk about school being back. I thought about Welcome Back, Cotter, which I played last segment.
School of Rock.
Going back to school is only fun at first.
Go on.
Like because, you've been gone for the whole summer, so now you get to see who's in your classes, if you're in high school or elementary school, whatever it is, what it's going to be like. You got the new first day of school outfit. And then college is like, all right, we back to campus, turn up, let's party, let's have a good time. And then when you get to like October, November, you're like, okay.
I'm in the grind.
Yeah, I'm ready for this semester to be over.
Yeah,
And then you get to the fresh meat on campus.
My school was so fresh meat.
Yeah, when you were in college, the fresh meat on campus.
What's the fresh meat?
You know what the fresh men and women joining? Yeah, the fresh men and women joining campus. You're like, woo, who is this new one?
One?
Kyle is referring to good-looking women.
Yeah, I just want him to say it out loud.
Men or women, whoever your preference is.
800-990-3776. Kyle, Bruston, Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. It's time to hear from our guy, Mr. Strofer.
Hey, Mr. Irrelevant. It's time to become relevant. Stroph's time to shine on KBN starts now.
Good to be back, fellas. Thursday, when the joint practice was going on up in Green Bay, I was stopping over near Lambeau Field. I was meeting some people for lunch up in Green Bay.
Cool.
Oh, it's about to get cooler.
Uh-oh.
I was
walked in.
walking through the parking lot. I see a taller gentleman in his late 60s, red hair, walking through the Lambeau Field parking lot.
Oh, I know who this was.
I go, hey, Mark.
No!
He said, hey.
He goes, hey, how you doing?
That's it?
I said, I'm good. How are you? He goes, I'm good. And then he kept walking. Mark Murphy, president and CEO of the Packers, walked right by me.
You should have told him you work for 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. He would have been
100.5 ESPN Madison.
Yeah, he would have been so delighted. He said, oh, Alex.
You could have been.
He goes, oh, you're the one that calls me a doofus all the time. Yeah, you got that right, Mark.
Mark that Packers Pro Shop. That's what he said.
Well, good news is next year when they release a special uniform, Mark Murphy will no longer be employed by the Packers. Right, Kyle? When they can send me another package?
He will not be when they don't send you a package.
Oh, they'll be sending me another one.
So, was there an opportunity for you to be more conversational?
I don't know, but I didn't want to be either. As you know, I'm not the biggest fan of
I
Mark
would
Murphy.
have loved to get into a full convo with him.
It wouldn't have ended well.
What do you mean wouldn't have ended well? What are you mad at Mark for?
I think he's a doofus. I think he speaks when he shouldn't speak.
He gives you...
He's a content factory.
Exactly. You work in media. You should love him going to girls' basketball games and telling you things like Aaron Rodgers isn't going to be returning, or getting on elevators and talking about, did it look like he may have...
I had somewhere to be. I was walking one direction. He was walking the other. I just gave him a, hey, Mark.
You could have reached... You could have, pocket picked them. There might have been, Kyle shareholder money in there.
True.
Why even acknowledge him if you didn't want to try to strike up a conversation?
I just want to strike that from the record. I just told you to rob an older gentleman.
Yeah, you did.
You did.
Strike that from the record. It's stricken.
But yeah, why even mention it then? You didn't want to have a conversation with him, so why even say hello? You just wanted him to know that you knew who he was?
Well, it was like, it's one of those awkward things where we made eye contact and we're walking one way, he's walking the other.
He knows that you saw who he was.
Yeah. So I just kind of quickly, I didn't stop. I didn't. I just kept walking, and we had our backs to each other at one point when I said, hey, good, how are you? He's 10 feet the other way.
You should say, how's Steve going to be this year?
He heard it at the shareholder meeting.
He did.
Yeah.
You make Mark out to be a kind of a dud.
Well, not a dud. CeeDee Lamb signs a massive record-breaking contract extension this afternoon with the Dallas Cowboys. I want to throw this stat at you, though. CeeDee Lamb will be signing a $38 million signing bonus. The Packers' top 7 receivers make less than $9 million.
Oh, wow. That's a fun stat.
How's that for a place to be when you're the Green Bay Packers? And there's a lot of excitement in that room.
It's a good place to be, but there needs to be results that follow. I think, again, I am excited, but no one, even to this day right now, can still tell you who's going to lead the team in receiving yards.
I don't care, because you know what I saw? Last time I saw CeeDee Lamb on a football field, what was he doing?
He was whining at...
What's going on?
Dak, we got to talk, bro. It's
What's
the first
happening?
quarter. We're down 7-0. We're panicking right now. And then you just threw it to Jair Alexander, and now we're down a lot.
Exactly. That's my whole point, is that having a number one wide receiver is important. It is. But I think that is the most overpaid position that you can pay. $38 million, because he's making 38. Isn't he making 34 a year?
Something like that, yeah. It's a lot.
It's a lot where you can get a whole group of guys. Now, every team can't do this, but the Green Bay Packers show you can find a group of guys that can actually get you further than a number one guy can.
Look,
$100 million guaranteed.
Oh my gosh.
That's a lot.
That's
a lot.
And he got to miss training camp. I mean, perfect world. Perfect world. I get to sit out.
Could you imagine?
really good
Could you
point.
imagine if Kyle? What's the definition of like a cowboy backer, like a Packer backer, whatever that is? If Kyle was
Cowgirl.
If Kyle was doing Dallas radio and was a Cowboys fan, he snapped on Jordan Love for sitting out of practice for 4 days. Could you imagine what he would have said about CeeDee Lamb?
Most selfish individual to ever live on planet Earth.
I mean, what CD did was it's not helpful for the team, but luckily he plays in a position now, wide receiver, where he'll be okay. Quarterback and receiver obviously are two different things, two different leadership roles, two different commands of the offense. He just goes out there and runs routes where one commands the offense.
Did you just explain what a quarterback and wide receiver do to the other ends?
I mean, no, I wouldn't have called them as selfish as Jordan Love was for doing that. Again, Jordan Love's only selfish in that instance, not as a person.
Who says bunting is dead? Florida wins the Little League World Series in extra innings against Chinese Taipei.
Yes.
With a bunt.
Well, the pitcher threw it to nobody. Did you not see how it happened?
No.
On the bunt, the pitcher fielded it. First base came up to field it as well. Pitcher just fires it to first. There was a guy on second, and he scored on the error from the pitcher who threw it to Casper.
Oh, you don't got to throw the 13-year-old under the bus like that, Ben.
Dude, what do you think China's going to do to him?
Well, it's Taiwan.
Taipei.
It's Taiwan. I acknowledge Taiwan.
I'm confused why you're doing that.
What's happening?
Chinese Taipei is Taiwan.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, the whole political thing out there. But China's not going to do anything to him because he's in Taiwan.
What's
Fair
Taiwan
enough.
going to do to him?
Nothing, not at all.
I don't know. Ben made it sound bad.
It was a
He's
joke.
making a joke about Chinese and their dictatorship.
Thank
I
you.
don't know what it is. It may not be a dictatorship.
Next question.
But can you not take shots at little children, though?
You really threw that kid under the bus.
Guys,
He did. You do a
he was
13-year-old
on TV. He bleeped up.
Okay, he's 13.
He ruined the Little League World Series for Chinese
Oh,
Taipei.
it's fine. It's fine. No,
Oh, this is
it's
what's wrong.
no.
Participation
Little
trophies.
Johnny, come here. It's not your fault
No,
that you
no.
panicked in the Little
Now,
League World Series
I will-
championship game and threw it to nobody at first base. It's not your fault.
Now, wait a minute. If it was China,
It's second base's fault.
If it was
second
China-
base should have covered first, and it's not what if this little kid wouldn't be getting ripped by me.
I would be
Actually,
right
I
there
turned
with
all
you.
my attention to the second baseman.
Oh, wow.
Idiot.
wow, he just called
He panicked.
A preteen is an idiot now, huh?
Last one for you guys. Jarrett Stidham, the Broncos' backup quarterback, saying, "Hey, I am a starting caliber quarterback after losing the starting job to Bo Nix. Who would you rather have start for your team, Sean Clifford, Michael Pratt, or Jarrett Stidham?"
Give me Michael Pratt. Give me Michael Pratt. I feel like it'll be more
I was going to
exciting.
say, give me Michael Pratt. He might throw the ball 110 miles per hour on a slant, but it's going to be exciting.
Exactly. I want the excitement. I like a little
If I'm going to
swagger
lose,
he
I want to
got.
lose crazy.
Exactly.
Lose in a fun way, for sure.
Yeah, like he's going to throw 60-yard bombs to Christian Watson. It's going to be fun to watch. He may throw it to the other team, but he's going to try.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it for becoming relevant?
Bless me. Thank me.
Why do we do a Quentin Williams there? We didn't hear you sneeze.
I know. I turned my mic off. I sneezed.
That was not the best becoming relevant off of a 4-day break. I'm just going to say that.
It wasn't that bad, was it?
It was just like headlines.
Hit the headlines.
You were headlines, huh? Those were the headlines. Chinese
Today's
Taipei.
International Dog Day. Would you like to talk to Brucey?
No, both the dogs are annoying.
Can I tell you
one,
a quick story?
one puked. Yeah, if you got a story,
So-
Kyle's gonna tell it on the other side. But first, you're gonna talk about underdog.
I
fantasy.
can talk about-
Underdog fantasy.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll talk about the other one. May not be as long, but Underdog Fantasy is definitely the dog that you love and you gotta have. And what I love about Underdog Fantasy is the fact that you
Other dogs, not so much.
No, I love dogs and more. I love Underdog Fantasy, just like you can as well. With Underdog Fantasy, it makes your watching experience that much better. Ben talked about it in his man cave. He has 3 different TVs in the command room and everything like that. You can do the exact same thing, except for you can be playing Underdog Fantasy. And here's how it works. You basically select multiple players from different teams. You select higher or lower on those players' stats. And if your picks hit, you can win big money. I'm telling y'all this right now. Watching sports last year was elevated when I was watching while playing the Underdog Fantasy Sports app. So now is the perfect time to hop on board. And I'm telling you this right now. It's so simple to play. Visit UnderdogFantasy.com and sign up using promo code KBN. That's promo code KBN. Or go to Underdog Fantasy in your app store and use promo code KBN. That is promo code KBN. And Underdog will give you a first pick 'em entry plus a deposit offer and also a highly discounted pick to use as well. So remember, promo code KBN and join me this football season and win big. Must be 18 plus and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concern to play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
We all know Kyle hates our office dog.
Stop it. Don't put that.
We'll find out what his dog story is next.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman.
Ben's pretty good at impersonations.
Hey, he's pretty good.
I
either crush him or suck at him.
He's pretty good at faking it.
Yeah, being a faker.
Yeah, that's
exactly what it is.
Whoa.
That's what acting is.
Why can't we come together?
Yeah,
right now?
you're very creative in faking it. Good job.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute.
Varsity on Wisconsin On Demand is home to all the latest and best Badgers content on ESPN Wisconsin. Subscribe on Apple, Spotify, Wisconsin On Demand, and wherever you get your podcasts.
With your Badger Minute, I'm Riley Yauk. We're less than a week away from Wisconsin football kicking off, and at least one AP writer is bullish on the Badgers this season. Ralph Russo released his prediction for the inaugural 12-team playoff and has Wisconsin slated as the 10 seed. Just one more reason to get excited about a new season of Badger football. Tune in to ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day this Friday, beginning at 4 p.m. right here on 100.5 ESPN.
Don't miss out on 0% interest for up to 60 months with no money down and equal payments.
Order today from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit PellaWI.com.
Discover a new generation of Audi featuring the all-electric Audi e-tron models. You can save $7,500 on select Audi EVs with the AFS EV lease bonus. See dealer for details and exclusions. Eligibility is subject to credit approval through Audi Financial Services. Cannot be combined with national customer credit. Offer expires August 31st of 2024. Stop in and test drive today. The Summer of Audi sales event is here. Check out our website to see our current qualifying inventory. Start your adventure at Zimbrick Audi of Madison today, off the Beltline and Rimrock Road.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Welcome to another episode of Analysis, man.
From Bucs superstar Giannis.
And then I'm going to Chris at the time. What did coach mean? What do you...
And even Green Bay QB Jordan Love. There's only one call for these conversations.
I've never been in a Lambeau, and I have to, right? What is this Lambeau league?
Tune in to the Thanalysis Show, presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Find it today on Apple, Spotify, and anywhere you get podcasts.
Looking for the perfect outdoor dining spot? The Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company has you covered. With their large patios and beer gardens, there's no better place to enjoy a perfect warm weather beer like the Crop Circle Wheat. Hungry? Enjoy appetizers and your favorite Dane dishes while soaking up the outdoors. With 4 Madison area locations, downtown, Hilldale, Fitchburg, or East Madison, the Great Dane is always just around the corner. Visit GreatDanePub.com for more information. Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's original brew pub since 1994.
Transform your home with Ridgetop Exteriors. With over 22 years of service excellence, we specialize in roofing, siding, windows, doors, and gutters. Visit us today at ridgetopexteriors.com. That's ridgetopexteriors.com. Find your trusted, local, affordable partner here at Ridgetop Exteriors.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
You're listening to Kyle Bruston Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Kyle Bruston-Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Kyle just triggered me in the break. Oh, my gosh. 800-990-3776. Alex Strofe running the show. Kyle, you hate dogs.
I don't hate dogs.
I love dogs.
I don't love dogs either. But I do not hate dogs. And this weekend, I've told y'all the story about Louie. I believe the dog's name is Louie.
Who ran away?
Who ran away.
And you witnessed and didn't tell your neighbors that Louie was running away?
I don't really like her. I don't really like her energy. Don't like her energy.
The neighbor or the dog?
The neighbor.
Both.
The dog is wonderful. A little husky that just wants to run around. That's all he wants to do is run around.
He just wants to get away from the owner.
Yeah, exactly. She's probably crazy. And so I'm sitting there, this Saturday, very productive Saturday. Most productive Saturday I've ever had almost in my life. And so I'm outside, and I got a concrete guy coming over. We're chatting it up. We're talking. We're in the front of the house, chatting up and talking. And all of a sudden, I hear, "Damn it, Linda, you let the dog out." And I said, uh-oh. And boop, there goes the dog running out again. And
Louie?
Louie. They went go chasing that dog.
Linda. You know the meme? The Linda? Oh man, look up the Linda meme, and you're gonna be able to play it on the air. Listen, Linda.
Listen, Linda. I'm telling you right now, the dog came jetting out, and they got lucky this time. And I watched. I wasn't gonna do anything. I sat there and watched. And I said,
"There it goes."
I said to the concrete guy, I said, "Up." He's in the middle of talking. I said, "Up, there go that dog again." He looks like, "Huh? Yeah, the husky like to run." The husky started running out, and they got lucky this time. You know when they got lucky? There was another dog out there, and the dog ran straight to the other dog, and the man came running out. The wife is coming out, tripping over stuff to go grab the dog, but they got lucky this time. And I thought to myself, I said, yeah, I was just laughing. I had no intentions on helping. I was just going to watch the show. I was literally going to watch the show. I was not going to help whatsoever. I was going to
What about
enjoy
the concrete guy?
He went into his own story about why he had to give up his husky because they like to run.
Really?
He said they don't like being in the house. He said, I had to give up my dog because I didn't have a big enough backyard. And when they're in the house, they go crazy and they like to just run.
Does Louie's family yard seem, like it's good enough for Louie? Listen, Linda. This husky's not made for this home.
The husky is not made for that little old backyard they got and the little old front yard they got. That dog came running out again. I just think to myself, every about 4 to 5 weeks, I was ready to get the phone out too. I was going to say, it's happening again.
Oh, you're going to film it?
I was going to do it. And I told the guy, that happens probably about every month or every 5 weeks. They chasing that dog. And I said, last time I ran through my yard, I didn't do anything. Absolutely nothing. I just looked. And this time I was just going to look.
This time you're going to film?
I filmed a little bit last time, and I was going to film again this time. Absolutely. They got to get that dog under control. But you talking about dogs and loving dogs, and I realized, that dog across the street is crazy.
All right, well, I got to give away some wonderful tickets to Potawatomi Casino Hotel because we're going to send you to some great events, as we always do. And right now is your chance to win some tickets to see Third Eye Blind. Oh, this is Third Eye Blind?
Is it? I didn't know
Bro,
that.
I had never heard of them. I've had
into you.
Third Eye Blind on Saturday, August 31st at Potawatomi Casino Hotel as part of their Amplified concert series. Oh, we're giving away two. Oh, caller 6 and caller 9 to 800-990-3776 gets a 4-pack to see Third Eye Blind. Full contest rules are at ESPNWisconsinContest.com. Third Eye Blind, August 31st at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Call right now. Caller 6, caller 9, 800-990-3776. We're back in 2 minutes. One of the most egregious statements ever heard in my house was made. I'll tell you in 2 minutes.
Welcome to Taberna, Madison's newest neighborhood place for tacos, tequila, and margaritas. Located conveniently on Monroe Street, Taberna is your spot to stop before or after the game. Freshly made margaritas, made-to-order tacos, and happy hour every Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Plus, enjoy daily specials like $4 off margaritas on Monday and 3 tacos for $12 every Tuesday. Taberna truly is a spot for everyone. Head to Taberna Tacos and Tequila today, located at 1925 Monroe Street.
Hi, this is former Badger Pro Football Hall of Famer Joe Thomas. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison. Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. My name is Riley Yauk, and this is your SportsCenter update brought to you by ESPN Madison on YouTube. Watch all your favorite daily ESPN Madison shows, exclusive digital content, and live high school sports play-by-play. Subscribe today to watch ESPN Madison on YouTube. It's officially game week for Badger football, and while excitement is in the air, head coach Luke Fickell had an unfortunate announcement at his press conference this morning regarding senior defensive end James Thompson Jr.
No, it doesn't look like James is probably going to make it. I don't know that we'll have him for the year. So, there's a lot of things that are still, we got to wait and see, right? I mean, I don't know if it's a 4 to 5 month thing. He had surgery big last week. We haven't really talked about it. It's a big loss.
The Badgers also released their depth chart this morning. Head on over to ESPN Madison on Twitter to check that out. The Brewers have an off day today after a 3-3 road trip that saw Milwaukee play in the Oakland Coliseum for the final time. They're off today before playing host to the Giants tomorrow. First pitch scheduled for 7:10. Tobias Myers slated to be on the bump.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studios in Madison, this is Kyle Brust and Nordman, KBN. Sponsored by Busch Light on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Congratulations to our winners going to Third Eye Blind.
Kyle's guy, Southside, got a W.
Oh, Southside? Southside serious?
He just said, tell Kyle Southside says hello.
Okay, for sure.
Danny in Milwaukee, but he doesn't go by that on the radio.
Oh, wow. You just exposed
You're just exposing our fans.
I wanted. My goodness gracious.
Jeez, Strofe.
Man.
Ben Bruss, Kyle Wallace, Alex Strofe here with you.
I didn't tell you his social security number.
You about did.
That man could have people looking for him right now.
And then I got Mike in Partyville, the other winner.
Partyville, yeah. I wonder if he's close with Dale in Partyville.
I bet they're best friends.
Best friends. It's not that big of a
just
town.
Just like me and you.
We're still working on that. You're still on the, yeah, we really got to work on the finalization of the list of the wedding.
I filled mine out this morning.
Oh, the KBN time capsule?
Yeah.
What'd you circle for? Is Alex Strofe going to be at Ben's wedding?
Just like your answer to that, just like your fiance's answer to that. My answer to that will be revealed in February after the Packers win the Super Bowl.
Good man. Wow. Good man. For those who missed it, we have a time capsule in which we have about 75 envelopes that are going to be buried underneath my backyard in my home.
Yeah, I caught the audio that you played the other day of your fiance reacting to you saying that.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I expected her to react.
That's why I told you guys I wasn't worried about it.
I didn't expect
I figured
that.
she'd be cool about it.
You probably don't have that audio ready to go somewhere in the system?
I could probably find it, but it might take me a minute.
Go to the downloaded folder. You might be able to see it there.
Yeah. Producer helping producer.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's your question here?
And so I was just thinking about that because your wedding, a lot of people, my girlfriend, shout out to her. She has been asked to be in another wedding. So congratulations to her. And next summer for me, like all my friends are waiting till their 30s, birds of a common feather flock together. So one day it will be coming soon for myself. But I'm in a lot of weddings and I'm going to a lot of weddings. Or
are you worried about the date?
I am she remembers your date actually.
How did she know?
I think did you say it on air?
You even know your date?
I know my date.
Did you say it on air or no?
What is it?
It's the end of summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you must have told her or something like that. She's got a memory.
Wait, does that mean we're coming up on the 1 year mark?
We are past. We're 4 days past.
It's the 22nd. That's what she said.
August 22nd.
That's what she said.
You must have said that on air. But regardless, and so I have legitimately like 5 different weddings that I have to balance next year, and I'm just hoping that everybody's wedding is separate from one another.
No.
Separate.
Unless there's one you don't want to go to, you hope it lands on one that you do want to go to.
That's too hard. It's too hard. You got to tell somebody no.
So I'm going to bury it in our backyard, and then at the end of the season, we open up the time capsule to see what everyone predicted.
From 10 years from now, or?
No, at the end of the season. It's a season long.
Where's the 10-year thing?
Where did the 10-year thing in at all?
I thought you said 10 years.
No. Before the season, end of the season, then we unlock it and read everyone's predictions, see who's right and who's wrong.
Our backyard is already pretty looking, so.
That's why I said I could do it in my backyard, because it already looks like crap.
Yeah.
So you're cool with it?
Yeah. Okay.
Man of the house.
Yeah, man of the house. Man of the house, I see.
Speaking of being the man of the house, my fiance went to a bridal shower, and all the people at the bridal shower asked to see baby girl. So
I'm sure they did.
On Friday, my fiance left town with the baby, and I was a boys' night. I had some guys over.
Wow, you just couldn't wait to have people over, huh?
It was great time.
Did you get an invite, Strove?
He was out of town.
What about me? I didn't get an invite.
You had plans.
I did have plans.
We talked after Tsunami Express car wash remote.
I may have gotten the invite had I been in town.
I wouldn't count on it.
Yeah, I wouldn't have counted on that as well. What I will say is,
I would have been invited.
I had a bunch of friends over, and one of the most egregious comments I've ever heard in my life was made. After we got done playing Mario Party like a bunch of 12-year-olds, Talladega Nights came on just like regular TV with commercials, right? And like everyone does this, right? You probably have access to watch Talladega Nights on any type of, I don't know, streaming platform, but I never go from the like TV version of the movie and you just watch commercials and whatnot. One of the people there said, "Oh, Talladega Nights, this is a top 5 comedy of all time."
Ooh, that's quite the statement.
I knew you would ding that.
For real?
One of my favorite movies ever.
It's not even a top 3
comedy of all time.
Top 3 of Will Ferrell.
Yes, it is.
Old school.
It's number 1 of Will Ferrell.
Oh no, you must
Step Brothers guy.
Yeah. Oh, come on, Step
Brothers went into that conversation right away, and then we talked about how each decade has probably a better comedy that goes into each decade, right? The Hangover comes to mind as a top one. You got Caddyshack for back in the day.
Talladega Nights.
Animal House. Like putting Talladega Nights in the top 5 is insane.
Shake and bake, baby. Shake and bake.
It's quotable, but we all sat there
I'm jacked up on Mountain Dew, Chip.
Just because it's quotable does not make it a top 5 comedy of all time.
It is. You know how I got Talladega Nights? Back when I purchased, I think it was PlayStation 3, maybe? PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 3 with Blu-ray. That's how I got it, and I fell in love with that movie. It is hilarious. And
Blu-ray.
Well, baby Jesus, we also thank you for my wife's father, Chip.
And I wouldn't say it's top 5 of all time, not even close being top 5, but Will Ferrell definitely.
I don't even know if it's in the top 20 of all time.
I don't know. Because I feel like we're excluding things that came before us.
That's what I'm saying.
And so that's definitely hard to say, but I will say Talladega Nights is one that's funny. I can pop it in today and watch it and be laughing my behind off.
I mean, like just like right there, I could probably name Dumb and Dumber's a classic.
That's okay.
Office Space.
Never seen it.
Old School, Super Troopers.
Oh, Super Trooper was funny.
See, like Happy Gilmore, Waterboy, Billy Madison. There is no way in the world that in any world, are you putting this on the poll, by the way? Somebody at Ben's house claimed that Talladega Nights is a top 5 comedy. Is it even in the top 20 of top 20 comedies of all time? Because that to me is probably where I draw the line. So if you don't even like movies, so is this like one of the 5 movies you've seen and you're like, oh yeah, it's funny?
I've seen more than 5 movies, but yeah, I love this movie. It's
40-year-old version, Meet the Parents.
Yeah, 40-year-old version. The movie I've seen the most.
What, Talladega
Wedding
Nights?
Crashers.
Either that or Step Brothers.
The Hangover.
The Hangover's also up there.
Like American Pie is a classic.
I never really watched it.
Borat, are you kidding me?
Oh, Borat is hilarious.
You know, like Talladega Nights, I very much like a Borat, and I don't think Talladega Nights, although Sacha Baron Cohen is in Talladega Nights.
He's the Nemesis.
Sure yes.
Nemesis.
Nemesis.
I was talking too fast. Nemesis.
Austin Powers. I mean, also, I'm not going to lie. There are some black comedies that I would put ahead of Talladega.
Why are you looking at me when you say that? Are you looking at me like
you haven't seen Blue Streak, and it blows my. I didn't look. You look very strove.
Look at the camera. You look directly. You look me directly in the eyes.
Coming to America. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, Coming to America. Rush Hour. Friday. There's so many different. Black
it does
comedies.
not be
House Party.
Tommy Boy. Superbad.
Superbad was good too.
See, like, am I crazy in thinking that this should not be near the top 5?
Talladega Nights was a stretch. That was a stretch. I'm not quite sure how. How many carbuses deep were they?
A couple, but he stayed really true to the statement.
Sometimes people make stupid comments and then they just stand on it because of the principle of not wanting to be wrong.
Wayne's World. You probably never seen that.
What do you mean? I've heard
Excellent.
Wayne's World. Isn't that how it goes?
Yes, but again, I just
Never
named off 15 right there, and so I'm curious as to what KBN Nation says, 800-990-3776, because I was like, Talladega Nights? Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
It's not his best Will Ferrell movie.
It's in there. It's definitely, he had
Semi-pro.
Anchorman.
Good call, loving football.
Yeah, that was semi-pro was
is so dang funny.
Yeah, there's just a lot of different movies for him, but overall, it's not a top 5 comedy movie of all time. It's not even close to being a top 5 movie. I mean, if you only seen 5 movies that are comedy movies, then yeah, you can put it in the top 5, but not even close.
JD and Fondy, Adam Sandler greater than, that was Taylor, greater than Will Ferrell. Taylor's my guy who wants to go to Pato. Totally agree. There's nothing better than when you have an Adam Sandler Waterboy, Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, all right there as they keep coming in. Talladega Nights is not a top 20 comedy. Talladega Nights is not top 5 all time, maybe top 500.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that. What is your top 5, though?
Rush Hour 2.
Shake and bake.
Rush Hour 2 is in there. I love Rush Hour 2 so much.
Hilarious.
Blue Streak is in there. It gets tough for me on the Adam Sandler ones because I love Waterboy, Billy Madison, and Happy Gilmore, but I can't pick all of them in there. Step Brothers, Wedding Crashers. I take Wedding Crashers out only because it turns into a horrible romantic, like they go away from the humor and then it gets all serious like for 30 minutes. I was like, we were rocking and rolling here, and then the movie turned south on me.
Yeah. I think for me,
Mark, Caddyshack. Like, Caddyshack is like a classic.
Have you seen Girls Trip?
No. Girls Trip.
Oh, that movie is hilarious. It is absolutely hilarious. You should definitely watch it.
Anchorman! Anchorman's better than Talladega Nights?
It's up there.
I'll probably agree.
Thank you.
Wait a minute, Strofe.
The more we talk about
shifty.
comedies, the more Talladega Nights slips further and further down
will
away
notice
from
that,
top
Kyle,
5.
That I am very loyal to Will Ferrell. I'm a very big Will Ferrell.
But you get my point, is we're getting
Seen
closer
it
to
before in
being a
person.
top 5 Will Ferrell movie than a top 5 comedy of all time.
Yeah, you tripping, Strofe.
I think I'd put Talladega Nights over Step Brothers.
Nah, that's stupid. It's not even close.
I think it's closer than you're giving it.
No, Talladega Nights is not a classic.
But Anchorman
like
is so
Step Brothers
good. Anchorman's so good.
On Twitter at KBN ESPN, somebody at Ben Bruss House said Talladega Nights is a top 5 comedy of all time. Is it even top 20? No, early in the voting is 65%. I'm glad that KBN Nation early on has some sort of freaking, I don't know.
Hey, ever seen Friday the movie?
No, but it's on my list. Heard it's great.
It's been out for like 25 years.
It's still on my list.
That's good. No, I mean that's cool. That's cool. We got the Hangover too. That
A lot of suggestions to add to the list. We got Hall Pass. Have you seen Undercover Brother?
Oh, that was good. That was good. It had me afraid.
I can't read Rich Pecker and Spread Eagle's text.
That's messed up. I'm gonna say Undercover Brother had
That's
me
just his
thinking,
name, and he lives in Spread Eagle.
Okay, I get it.
Highway 69, right through there.
Oh wow, that's okay.
It's a true thing.
I know. I'm sure. Undercover Brother had me thinking I shouldn't like mayonnaise.
Why is that?
Because
Why can't you read his text?
I was just giving him crap. Just like reading his name.
Because they said black people don't like mayonnaise. So I was a kid watching Undercover Brother.
Like, I hate mayonnaise.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. It was like it was the kryptonite for the brother there. That was Eddie Griffin in that movie. But yeah.
Jason Wilde is going to answer all of our tough Packers questions. We bring the heat to Jason Wilde as now we are heading into the heart of football season right now.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN.
You should be happy Pac-Man Jones had this on his headphones, or he definitely would have pulled it up on you.
I think Pac-Man's lucky I didn't have this on my headphones.
Oh, you right.
I would have been. I'm really feeling swaggy and confident.
You say, yeah, you're in my space. What you gonna do?
Because even just hearing the song, like, for those who on the YouTube, they can see I'm bobbing my head right now. Like, this is like, okay.
Go ahead, say ski.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Ben Brust here for Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. It's been over 4.5 years I've worked with Zimbrick European, and it's time for you to stop on by and check out all the inventory they have to offer. You can also go to ZimbrickEuropean.com for certified pre-owns, Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, electric vehicles. They literally have it all for you. It's your one-stop shop. Don't forget about Mercedes-Benz Sprinter vans as well. Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Check it out. You will enjoy it.
You're probably being overwhelmed with information about semaglutide, the game-changing FDA-approved weight loss treatment. Jim Rutledge here. I was like you. I didn't know what it was until I saw Dr. Nestor Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. He can walk you through the benefits. He can tell you if it's right for you, and then you could come up with a plan to change your life with a workout plan and semaglutide. With that plan, I dropped from 20% body fat to 10% body fat, and I dropped over 20 pounds of fat and kept my muscle. You can do the same thing. Go see Dr. Nestor Rodriguez at Carbon World Health.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Learn from some of the best baseball coaches in the area and find the program that fits your training goals and your schedule. Spots are filling up fast, so visit grbacademy.com to sign up now. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
Searching for the perfect brunch spot this weekend? Look no further than the Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company. Every Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., indulge in the Great Dane sweet and savory brunch menu paired with mimosas, Bloody Marys, or one of their signature beers on tap. Enjoy at any of their 4 Madison area pubs, downtown, Hilldale, Fitchburg, or East Madison. Learn more and view the full menu at greatdanepub.com/brunch. Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's original brew pub since 1994.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Stoughton Health, in collaboration with patient and family advisors, seeks to advance the healthcare experience at Stoughton Health by providing a forum for past patients and families to provide feedback on a variety of healthcare and other related topics. Advisors offer constructive feedback on their personal journey at Stoughton Health, helping to elevate the patient experience and increase satisfaction. Interested? Please call Amy at 608-873-2308.
After a serious accident, you'll need a winning team to protect your rights. Trust Wisconsin's own Ruger Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, brought to you by Busch Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Madison YouTube channel, and Wisconsin On Demand. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Joining us now, as he does every Monday at 3:15, is Jason Wilde. Listen to Jason on Wilde and Tausch across these various stations from 9 to noon. Catch them on podcast or on YouTube at ESPN Madison or at ESPN Milwaukee. It's Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, and Alex Strofe here with you. Jason, how are you?
I'm great. So do you yell for all 3 hours?
Yes.
I think that's a levels issue.
No. You project loudly.
So it's funny you say that, Jason. I was in a meeting today at the office, and it was a video call, and I was on the other side of where the person on the video was. And I felt like, although there are microphones in the room, that I felt like I had to project. And somebody in the room told me, "Are you always this loud?" So this is twice in one day. Maybe I need to take a sec.
Oh, it makes him great, Jason.
It's so you kind of you crescendo as the music does, and then you kind of dial it down toward the end. So it's fine. I don't usually. I'm not usually in the car. And and I have it on the Apple CarPlay, and it just felt like really loud. And it's great because I feel like, if you were calling a play on the court during the Final Four run or something, you got to be able to project. So I'm fine with it. It just struck me as particularly loud as we were sitting in the car.
Thank you, Jason Wilde, for the observation.
You're trying to project, but this is what you do. Like,
I know. That's just me. Jason.
You're welcome, Ben. What else do you want to talk about?
One of the most egregious statements of all time was made at my house on Friday that Talladega Nights is a top 5 comedy of all time. Do you agree that it's not even in the top 20?
I'm not even sure it's a top 5 film with Will Ferrell.
Thank you.
Okay, Jason,
just went through this. Yes, no, it's it's Fringe
or The Self.
Old school Step Brothers.
Like, does he have to? First of all, I actually like Ted. Come on, what am I doing here? The Anchorman.
Yes.
I like Anchorman. So that's in there. That's 3. I understand he only has a cameo role, but the role he plays in Wedding Crashers is still one of my favorites. Yes. We use that in our house all the time, even though none of us eats meatloaf. So I mean, if I were to put down my list of Will Ferrell movies, Talladega Nights is not in the top 5 and might not be in the top 10.
Oh, Jason, you're tripping.
No, he's on the right side of history on our Twitter poll and just on the right side of history with a knowledge.
Absolutely tripping.
That's where I like to be.
Jason, the preseason is over, and something Bradley Nortman, our co-host, kind of alluded to today earlier was the fact that he's disappointed in the fact that the Packers starters didn't have a lot of snaps this preseason. Do you have any concern with the Packers and their lack of snaps?
I think some context here would be appropriate. He cited the fact that Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs got 2 different times to go out there.
Yeah, I appreciate the context. I would say this. Brad Nortman played in the NFL and I didn't, so I am reluctant to push back on that. But you guys know my position already. My position is I am not losing an important player to a game that doesn't count in the standings.
Is that because of Jordy Nelson?
It is. Well, it's not just because of Jordy Nelson, but it is primarily because of him. Yes, I just here's my issue with the preseason, Bradley. Is that how does Brad go by Bradley now? Did I miss a meeting?
We mix it up every now and again when he's trying to.
Brad once in a while, Bradley sometimes.
Bradley when he's trying to be above us.
It does sound a little snooty. Although Bradley Cooper, he seems likable. I wonder what his top 5 movies are. So I would say this: if you're going to go out there and you're going to run a bunch of vanilla stuff, right? And you don't know, you can't control who you're playing against. Like the Packers, for instance, those starters played 3 snaps of offense and 8 snaps of defense against the Browns, but the Browns didn't play their starters. So the fact that Dontavion Wicks torched that safety, that guy's not starting safety. They didn't have their starters out there. They had Myles Garrett coming off the edge. So how productive is that? I don't know. I do think there's a value in going through the game day process, if that makes sense, of, getting your game face on or your regular face and going through warm-ups and being in the right place mentally. I always liked when Mike McCarthy used to have the guys go through the week as if they were going to play and then pulled the plug after warm-ups and said, all right, you guys aren't going. I thought it was really interesting. I don't know if you guys saw this because it was a smaller part of my story, and I don't think it probably made a lot of the audio clips that we pulled from LaFleur, but bless you, Sid. But I think it's interesting that what LaFleur did was told the guys on Friday that you're not going to play, but then had the guys who were going to play go through a walkthrough in preparation for what they were going to call, and then had the starters go through a legitimate full-speed practice. I think it was in shorts and helmets, but still they had competitive periods, etc. So they had a little a game-like feel, but didn't play a game in which there was actual risk. I think that these joint practices are far superior because not only is your quarterback not in the same level of danger, but as long as you know that the team that you're doing the joint practice with is not on your schedule, is not going to share the tape from the practice with any of your upcoming opponents or any insights they got.
Do they have to sign NDAs? Sorry to interrupt, but that is an interesting thing.
They should. I think that's a really good idea because, again, Aaron Rodgers, I don't like the way he went about it in 2019, but that doesn't mean he was wrong. They wasted their time with the Texans because they ran a bunch of vanilla garbage because they were worried about Chuck Pagano's brother, who was on the Texans staff, telling Chuck Pagano everything, and Chuck Pagano was the Bears' defensive coordinator, and then they thought they'd be at a disadvantage when they opened the season against the Bears with the first game of the regular season. If you're able to do all the things and run your actual playbook and no one's going to see it on tape, I think that's way better than risking playing guys in a preseason game where you can. I mean, you look at the Ravens. They had multiple guys get hurt in the game on Saturday, and guys that are supposed to play for them that now won't be available.
We're talking with Jason Wilde here on Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Alex Strofe running the show. Jason, obviously you know where the conversation is with this team and trying to figure out the backup quarterback and kicker. Which is more important to a team? I know obviously you need a kicker. You can't just go and not have a kicker, but you get the spirit of the question. If, God forbid, something happens to Jordan Love for 2 to 5 games, right? You need somebody who can come in and help the team not lose the season. What's your sort of stance on the kind of 2 questions that I asked?
Yeah, I have always preferred 3 quarterbacks. And now that they've expanded the practice squads after COVID, the 2 on the 53 and a 3rd on the practice squad. And the idea of playing your starter, but having a veteran, I always think of Matt Hasselbeck, who started a ton of games in the NFL. And then the last 3 or 4 years of his career, he was a veteran backup who was there to help young quarterbacks develop, who was there if your quarterback got hurt, that he'd be able to play. I thought he was perfect. And just like I thought Matt Ryan would have been perfect last year. Now, Matt Ryan is way smarter than me, and he knew that if he had signed with the Packers and been a backup, then whatever the Packers would have paid him, he would have had deducted from the money that the Colts owed him. So he would have basically been playing for free. So what he did is he went and did the CBS thing, and now it appears he's fully retired. But I would have loved for him to be the backup. Even if you viewed him as washed as a starter, that's a guy that has proven he's won an MVP, could probably get you through a few games. So we don't know Sean Clifford or Michael Pratt can do. There was an interesting thing from Tom Pelissero today, though, that I made note of, and that was that the NFLPA vetoed an idea that would have had you were allowed to have unlimited call-ups of practice squad quarterbacks to the 53-man roster on game days. Because I wonder if the Packers were thinking, we cut both of these guys. Nobody's going to want them. We don't have to carry either one of them on our 53.
Dang, yes.
And we could sneak another guy onto the 53, and then we can call up whichever guy we want for that week to be the backup. I wonder if Goody was thinking that way and if this kind of foiled his plan. That'll be one of my questions for him if and when we get to talk to him.
Jason, what you just said, nobody else wants these guys? It doesn't sound appealing to me whatsoever.
Yeah, well, I'm speaking for me. I don't. Maybe they think, but do you? Let's put it this way. I don't know what either of those guys will eventually become. Yeah. Right. One was a 5th rounder, one was a 7th rounder. But if you're one of the other 31 teams and you're watching film of this summer's Packers preseason games, are you claiming either one of those guys and using up a roster spot on your 53-man roster?
Probably not.
For one of those 2? No way you are. No way.
And Jason, with the receiver competition, I love all the receivers. The 7 receivers that the Green Bay Packers have. Which one is going to be the odd man out? Is it going to be Malik Heath, Bo Melton, or Grant DuBose?
Ooh, I think that's a really good question. I'm really curious to see if they get any sort of trade interest of any of those guys, because that could be the tiebreaker. I think DuBose had a really good camp. Again, it comes down to, is anyone going to claim any of these guys if you cut them? And I don't know the answer to that. That's the risk you have to obviously take. I don't think it happens real often, frankly. Obviously, we remember the time when Taysom Hill was claimed. They didn't think that would happen. But I don't know. Is Grant DuBose going to get claimed? I doubt it. Maybe. I suppose it's possible. But Bo Melton, I think, would, right? I mean, if you look at what he did last season playing in games that counted, he's got an appeal. Malik Heath, from a blocking perspective, and he's made some catches in camp and in preseason, I think there's a good chance he might get claimed. So I would think the guy that you risk is the guy that has the least amount of film out there, because they want Grant DuBose on their team. They clearly like him. Whether or not they can they're not carrying 8 wide receivers. So they're going to have to figure something else out.
I like this as just an extension here. Do you think they would ever field a trade on any of the top 4 to keep one of the bottom 3?
Ooh. I don't think so. I mean, I think the top 4, as much as I like 5 through 8, and I did a story for the State Journal just about those 4 guys, because I do think all of them are legit NFL receivers, which is crazy to say. They go 8 deep at wide receiver, but I really think it's true. I don't think any of them, maybe Melton, are in a position to really and truly challenge those other 4. I think those 4 are pretty clearly head and shoulders above the next 5 through 8.
Jason, we appreciate your time, and we know that roster cuts are tomorrow, and we are heading into having even more fun conversations about the season. Yes, Kyle?
Jason, who will be the kicker come Thursday when you join us again?
Ooh, I still think that it's going to be Anders Carlson. I think they're going to. I think their mentality is, we don't want to do to Anders Carlson what the Vikings did to Daniel Carlson and end up regretting giving up on him too soon. But as I said to Tausch this morning, the problem is that 32-yard field goal that he missed in and of itself isn't that big of a deal, but it's indicative of how he just has this ability, even in a game where he seems to be humming along, to then miss a kick. Again, he missed a kick in 10 of their last 12 games. And what that says to me is that even when things are going well, you just can't count on him to keep that consistency. But if I have to pick, I'm picking him.
And lastly, Jason, on just a quick answer, do you think Anders will finish the season as the kicker?
God, I don't know if I've ever given a quick answer, especially not on this show.
Yeah, that was a setup for a failure by me.
It was, but it was at a nice low tone, which I really appreciated.
Thank you.
I would not take that bet.
You asked for a nice, quick answer, and he gave it to you.
I had Alex Strofe talking in my ear, so I missed the answer. Jason,
he said he would not take that bet.
Yeah, I kind of gathered that based off your reaction. Jason, we appreciate the time. We'll talk to you on Thursday, all right?
All right, guys. Take care. Be good.
That's Jason Wilde. Listen to him weekdays, 9 to noon across these various stations. Kyle Brust-Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. And look, I think that question about the receivers, Kyle, is actually pretty fascinating because Jason said he believes that those are 7 wide receivers that are legit NFL players. We'll keep diving into that. Plus, we got Cheers to and Pour One Out coming up next.
This is Kyle Brust-Nortman.
I put my card in, I pump. When it clicks, I pull it out, I put it away, and I move on to my own.
That's what she said. Thanks so much, Old T.
She pumps and moves on with her life.
Take it out, put it in, move on with her life. Said. Come on, Kyle, keep up. That's Packers Hall of Famer. That was one of my better ones, and he's confused.
Well,
he's still fixated on Lola Bunny.
No, I don't think she says that.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Every Everybody knows if it's summer season, it's festival season. And Potawatomi has the winningest one, WinFest. You could make it an awesome August with a share of $500,000. Play with your rewards card for entries. Hourly drawings every Thursday from 5 to 8 p.m. $25,000 in cash and prizes each drawing. It's the $500,000 WinFest. Get in on the fun. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. More info at pacebig.com. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Pizza Hut just changed the combo game with the new My Hut Box. Get your choice of a 2-topping personal pan pizza, a half melt or a full melt, and your choice of either boneless wings or fries. It's the ultimate solo meal starting at only $6.99. Craving pizza and wings? You got it. Want melts and fries? You got it. Because this meal is all about you. Perfect for a speedy lunch, a relaxing dinner for one, or anytime you're on the go. Head to pizzahut.com to order your My Hut Box today. That's pizzahut.com. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Summer is winding down, and that means it's back to school savings time at Metro Ford of Madison. This month, qualified buyers can get 90 days deferred payments, and qualified vehicles will get an additional $1,000 for their trade. The 24 Ford F-150, Explorer, Edge, and Escape all are available with 0.9% APR financing for 66 months. $15.54 cost per $1,000. $2,000 in flex cash is also available at Metro Ford of Madison.
UW Credit Union presents the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Dennis Semrau with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Our UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Max Raymer from Sun Prairie East High School. Welcome, Max.
Thanks for having me, Dennis.
Three-sport athlete, football, basketball, and golf. When was the first sport you remember playing?
It's gotta be golf. 6 years old, I got my first hole-in-one with my dad. That's my best memory and my first ever sport I started playing. Now that I'm getting into my high school career and coming up to an end here, it's definitely between basketball and football.
Had a pretty successful basketball season last year. And football, you're a safety. Now this year, going to the other side of the ball.
Absolutely, quarterback.
When you look back on your time at Sun Prairie and Sun Prairie East, now the two schools, what's going to stand out the most?
Definitely just the people, the teachers, all the coaches, the relationships. I built so many good friendships on and off the court and field, course, whatever you want to call it. That definitely will stand out the most to me, just the people that have been around.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, I'm Jeff Lettering alongside Gina Della from Pella.
Thanks, Jeff. How do you say welcome?
With a new entry door from Pella.
Say it with color.
Like baseball bat oak or foul pole yellow?
Say it with class.
Like following players' unwritten baseball rules.
With clarity.
Like a no-doubter shot off the scoreboard.
And with this great deal, 0% interest for up to 60 months with no money down and equal payments.
That's the ball game. A Pella walk-off.
Schedule your free and home consultation at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. See 31/2024.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Kyle Bruston Nortman, Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, Alex Strofe running the show. 800-990-3776. You can get us on Twitter at KBN ESPN or get us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. What'd you think of my intro there, Strofe? How did that go?
Well, you went from way up here to way down here.
Trying to work on my levels, not make it spike so much on the level thingy-majiggy you got back there.
Are you aware you yell?
Honestly, I just thought I projected. Is yelling projecting?
Ooh, what's the difference?
Be true.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, well,
this is me just like getting demonstrative and talking on Kyle Brust Nortman. Kyle, what the hell is wrong with you? Is me yelling.
Okay, yeah. And then what is you just talking?
Loud. Loud noises.
Coach B used to guys that would talk quietly, especially in meetings. He'd say, "Say it with confidence."
I love
it
that.
Means like basically, speak up, son.
It's time to cheers to and pour one out.
The weekend is over, so let's pop some bottles. It's time for Cheers to and Pour One Out on Kyle Brust and Nortman.
Bradley, go ahead.
I'd love to. I cheers to college football starting, but more importantly, college football upsets. I love the fact that the very first game of the season was a big upset when Florida State got upset by Georgia Tech in Ireland. And why does this matter? Georgia Tech was a 10.5 point underdog to Florida State. That's like what the same line is for Wisconsin versus Alabama, Wisconsin versus Penn State, Wisconsin versus Oregon, a 10-point underdog. It reminds me, hope springs eternal, that if Georgia Tech can do it to Florida State, maybe, just maybe, Wisconsin can do it to Alabama, Oregon, or Penn State. So cheers to college football upsets, particularly if it helps my Wisconsin Badgers.
Oh, I love that. I want to cheers to something a little bit different. And it's not on 94.5 ESPN or 100.5 ESPN Madison or 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, but 620 WTMJ. We have a teammate named Dom Catronio. Dom came on, I want to say, on our show one time before. And his father is the play-by-play radio broadcaster for the Oakland Athletics, who will no longer be the Oakland Athletics as of this year. I don't know if you guys saw the news. They're moving to Vegas one of these days. And something that I want to cheers to is the fact that shout out to the Oakland A's for not only letting my Brewers beat the snot out of them this weekend. I know we won 2 or 3 games, but it still felt good for the Brewers to win. But also shout out to them because they allowed Dom, one of our teammates here, to do play-by-play with his dad in the radio booth, as his dad will no longer be the Oakland A's play-by-play announcer. So a father-son play-by-play booth for the Oakland A's for one of our teammates here at GKB, who also does extra innings for the Brewers on 620 WTMJ. I thought that was a really heartwarming, cool story. So cheers
Nice,
to that.
heartfelt story from Kyle Wallace, and Dom does a great job on all of our coverage on Brewers Radio and 620 WTMJ. I'd like to cheers to, in the spirit of college football, oh man, Hawaii played on Saturday. Hawaii played Delaware State.
They still the Rainbow Warriors?
I believe so, but all I know is they were 11 o'clock p.m. start.
Oh, goodness.
And I was hanging out with my former co-host, Greg Scalzo, and we placed a Scalzo and Brust dual bet together.
Oh, it's back.
And we looked at Hawaii, minus 40 against Delaware State, and said, Hawaii? We've lost too many times on Hawaii late night that we're going to give the points. Plus 40 for Delaware State.
Wait, what? Whoa.
We're 1-0, Scalzo and Brust betting account.
Delaware State. Hawaii's that bad?
They won by 21.
Well, no,
they didn't cover 40.
Hawaii was a 40-point favorite.
Oh, favorite.
Anybody a 40-point favorite is eye-popping.
It's eye-popping.
Yeah, y'all know when the season comes, y'all going to have to remind me. What,
about the...
Yeah. Plus, it's my...
I know you're a higher or lower guy.
Yeah,
that game was tied in the third quarter.
That's what I'm saying. And the best part about some of those is this game was so bad, Hawaii and Delaware State. I went on ESPN Plus. I went on the ESPN app. They didn't even have Gamecast for it. You know when like you can follow the football and even get like play-by-play? I couldn't even track it like that. So that was a place it, go to sleep, wake up, forget you placed it, and then remember 2 hours later and find out you won. So shout out to late night college football betting because it's the best when you get those late night games.
Wow, that is quite the experience. Well, without further ado, let me pour one out. I pour one out to the Green Bay Packers wearing their white uniforms at home. I know this was a preseason game, and they're maybe trying it out or something, but something about the Packers wearing their away uniforms at Lambeau, it just
What
seemed
about the
off.
winter warning ones?
I can maybe get behind that, but if they're not wearing the green at home, it just looks weird to me. It really does, particularly when it's like the objectively away ones. Now, I know that Dallas does that, and if you're a southern team. You want to avoid the sun, so you'd wear white for the first couple games. But the Packers wearing white at home, like their away uniforms at home, it just looks strange to me. I had to look away. I went as far as that.
That is a bit dramatic.
I had to look away. I can't even look at this.
Did that not scream dramatic?
It was confusing.
You are aware they wore their green uniforms at Cleveland and at Denver, correct?
I don't like that.
It was still different, though. I'm not going to lie. I saw it. I'm like, that's interesting.
Just preseason.
It's just
Jordan
weird.
Love didn't even put on a jersey.
It's just bad for the eyes.
It is
It
interesting.
upset me. It upset
You're
me.
such an old head.
I'm offended. I really am.
Offended?
I'm offended. I'm offended by the choice.
You and Mark Murphy.
Grow up.
Well, I'm going to pour one out. Did you guys know smoke detectors now?
guys?
So when you were kids growing up, how did you, if a smoke detector went off in your home, what did you do to get it off?
When I was
hold the
growing up.
button.
Hold the button? Did I grow up poor?
You just hold the button.
Hold the button? I used to have to fan the smoke. All I did was fan the smoke.
You could do that too.
I was doing that because we bought a little cast iron skillet. We made some steaks yesterday. It got very, very smoky.
Do you not have a vent?
Open the windows. Summertime.
Listen.
No, I'm with you. I
I
have a microwave with a vent, and I love using the cast iron skillet.
But
I didn't use the vent, and all the windows were open, and the smoke alarm was still going off.
It's still bellowed out there, and so the smoke detector's going off, and I'm just moving my arms with all the different. I had two different things. I'm going left, right, and I'm thinking, dang, the neighbor's gonna think we really burning down the house. And so then I walk over. I said, this thing's been going on for 5 minutes. What do I do? And I saw a little button. I said, let me just try to just see if this works. And I pressed the button and it stopped. I said, this must be that new age smoke detector. So that's a thing?
It's been a thing.
Oh yeah.
The Wallace household did not have that. We had to just shake our arms unless we're just stupid.
You need the arm workout.
Oh hush, I do. I'm a little flabby.
What do you mean? Oh hush, you know you need it.
I'm a little flabby, but yeah, all is well. But I was like, this is weird. So what if you have a real fire going on? You press the button, and be like, I'm just going.
Well, if there's real fire, I have a feeling you'll know there's a real fire.
Yeah, you're gonna be hustling out
real
of there.
fire, hit it. Boom,
You
done.
want people
The
to be
flames are
aware.
over there, but I'm gonna go ahead and turn this guy off right here.
Yeah, but I did not know that. So pour one out to. I was gonna pour one out to the fact that
You're dumb.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
I'd like to pour one out
realize I
to
was
Kevin
dumb.
Garnett for being dumber than Kyle and saying that Giannis Antetokounmpo is not even a top 4 player in the Eastern Conference of the NBA. We have now reached the point of further than stupidity. And we know, I wouldn't say I fall victim to the saying things for attention thing, but Giannis is unfreaking believable. Even just watching what he did in the Olympics with a team full of guys that couldn't even sniff the NBA and the numbers that he put up and how great he is and how hard he plays. He brought a championship to Milwaukee for the first time in 50 years. Yeah, that's the worst thing I've heard in a very, very long time. Pour one out to Kevin Garnett. Anything you'd like to cheers to and pour one out to, Strophy? Looks like you were texting, so I wanted to see if you're ready for a
I was reading
take.
about Samaje Perine getting traded potentially.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
That's deep into the NFL rumors.
Why does that matter to us?
Yeah, what does that matter for KBN?
What if the Packers trade for a running back?
The Packers aren't
Might
trading
move on
for a
from
running
A.J.
back.
Dillon?
But you think they don't have Marshawn Lloyd, who's going to be healthy come week 1?
Is he gonna be healthy?
He might not be healthy. They might put him on the IR.
He said he was going to be healthy.
Oh.
You always listen to the player, right? The player always knows their prognosis. Yeah, that's right.
Can I just say, Kevin Garnett, no shots at your ability to read, but I want him to say the word equivalent. Before about Giannis not being top 4, say the word equivalent.
And if you don't know what Kyle's talking about, it's worth your time. Look up Kevin Garnett and equivalent, unless Strofe is working magic and smiling.
I never know where it's going to go. Okay, here we go. Kind of like name an NFL equivalent for each NBA player.
Oh my
He wanted to say
God.
name an NFL equivalent for each NBA player.
One more time, Strofe.
Kind of like name an NFL equivalent for each NBA player.
Listen,
I can't even follow that.
Shut up.
Brad-
Giannis is top number 1 or top 2. For
Brad, I was going through my phone and I saw videos of us in the showroom. There is T-minus 5 days at 0% interest for 60 months. Can I yell now, guys? 0% interest for 60 months. Everyone needs to know.
And if you're wondering, man, is maybe the time for me to do it? That deal should elicit your urgency to do it. 0% interest for 60 months. the warm weather outside. I mean, today is when you're thankful you have Pella windows and doors, keeping that air conditioning in. And if you don't, what are you waiting for? That is the sign that you need to race to PellaWI.com today to take advantage of that deal that ends on August 30th. So do not wait. PellaWI.com.
I've documented this in the past to KBN Nation, but I have a tab on our Kyle Bruston Nortman show sheet and pre-show meeting sheet where I have quirky Brad stuff. Let's just say one NFL player does things like our quirky Brad. We'll tell you who it is and what happened next.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman.
Oh, wow. North? Spread Eagle is way north. Way north.
Stop. You're doing the thing where you don't know what you're doing.
No, it is, though.
We don't know where up north is.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Madison Axe. Enjoy axe throwing, craft beers, bags, shuffleboarding, and more fun at Madison's state-of-the-art entertainment spot. Visit MadisonAxe.com or head to their location on Stoughton Road today.
With your Badger Minute, I'm Riley Yauk. We're less than a week away from Wisconsin football kicking off, and at least one AP writer is bullish on the Badgers this season. Ralph Russo released his prediction for the inaugural 12-team playoff and has Wisconsin slated as the 10 seed. Just one more reason to get excited about a new season of Badger football. Tune in to ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day this Friday, beginning at 4 p.m.
Don't miss out on 0% interest for up to 60 months with no money down and equal payments.
Order today from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit PellaWI.com.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hi, I'm John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. I've been here for over 4 decades now, and I can tell you here at Goodman's Jewelers, we pride ourselves on high standards, classic traditions, honesty, and integrity. We're a small independent jeweler with a great history, so you'll find us more personal than other big-name jewelers. Find Goodman's Jewelers in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. Goodman's Jewelers, the Diamond Store Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
No more waiting to see a general surgeon. Stoughton Health has you covered. We accept over 160 insurances, including Anthem Blue Cross, Blue Shield, Cigna, Dean Health Plan, Humana, and Quartz. Enjoy easy access at Stoughton Health, where most general surgery appointments are available within a week. When it comes to your procedure, trust board-certified general surgeon Dr. Aaron Schwab. At Stoughton Health, we are proud to provide you with exceptional, personalized service. Learn more at stoughtonhealth.com.
You can't miss a moment with Greeny.
Someone told me I'm bleeding. At what stage of your life do you start bleeding and not know? No idea what happened. Like all of a sudden, Russell says to me, Greeny, you're bleeding. It's not running down the side of my face or anything. I'm fine. This is my flu game. I'm managing to do this despite seeming to have somehow contracted a scratch on my head of which I was unaware. As a general rule, when you're bleeding, you want to be the one who knew it.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Nobody!
Greeny, weekdays noon to 2 on 100.5 ESPN.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman. Brought to you by Busch Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Madison YouTube channel, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Quirky Bradisms. We got a lot of them. One of them being that he sneaks in food to movie theaters, and not just any food.
He doesn't sneak into food. He's basically breaking the rules.
I don't know. I feel like it's unwritten. It's an unwritten rule.
Sugar-free candies, his own popcorn, you name it.
LaCroix.
Salads in a bag.
Salads in a bag.
Brad, if somebody brought food to your house just to eat and you were cooking dinner that day, would you be offended?
I would respect the courage. I'd say good for you.
Now, your wife texted you something. She's on the lookout for your weird things that you do, too, to protect you?
Yeah, so Lexi, my wife, follows Brock Purdy's wife, Jenna Purdy. And what
Football
do you know?
wives.
Last night, she Instagrammed a picture, whatever that's called, stories. What is that?
Instagram story.
Instagram stories.
Oh my
and
gosh.
what do you know? If you're on YouTube, you can see it as I'm seeing it, and we saw it last night. She said, "Date night with my babe at Unreal Snacks and Stove Popcorn." They snuck in their own candy and their own popcorn. I'm seeing popcorn out of like a gallon bag for Brock Purdy and his wife. So what do you know? What do you know, boys? It must just be an NFL player thing.
You've made more money than Brock Purdy.
I don't know about off the field. Brock Purdy is.
I don't know the endorsements. Wait, what is
Brock Purdy after taxes is like $400,000 to $500,000 in San Francisco.
Oh, he's poor in San Francisco.
Oh no, wait. Brock Purdy has signed with Air Alaska, Toyota, and Buffalo Wild Wings. Your boy didn't get any of those endorsements.
I mean, it's a local endorsement.
According to Sportskeeda, earlier this year, he has made about $500,000 from brand deals.
That's good. That's pretty good. He's
still not Brad Nortman money.
70% of it.
He's still making less than $1 million a year.
Guys, you got to remember, I'm a retired NFL player. He's current. He's going to
You
get that
worked
QB
in finance.
He's going to get that QB1 contract.
Right.
When did you start
invested
working in
money.
finance?
2020.
But you also invested your money as well.
Do you have blue eyes?
Yes.
Are you 6'5"?
No, 6'3".
Are you think they're twins?
Do you have a trust fund?
No.
Okay.
It's a lot of
Why
questions.
does Brock?
Yeah.
Can you
That's a
more
very
context,
strange
Brock Purdy's
please?
not 6'5".
Line of
I'll tell you that
questioning.
much.
He ain't 6'5". No way.
No, he's 6'1".
This is pretty.
What are you
interesting
doing over there?
Yeah, what are you,
Alex Strofe running the show behind the glass.
6'5", blue eyes.
You guys didn't hear this meme?
Trust fund. 6'5", blue eyes.
What does this meme have to
Finance,
Is
blue
that
eyes.
like characteristics you're looking for in a dude?
Yeah, this woman was on her couch saying she's looking for a man in finance. 6'5" Blue Eyes Trust Fund.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Oh,
It was
wow.
like the
That'd be
meme
quite
of
the way to pick
2024. Nobody saw this?
No,
It's been a Gen Z meme.
Yeah. New
Yes.
to me. Definitely new to me. But something that's disappointing is the fact that, first and foremost, didn't realize how broke Brock Purdy was because, again,
It's that California taxes and
too much. That's why you went
Mr. Irrelevant.
You went to Florida for a reason. And then on top of that, he should be ashamed of himself. The fact that he not only went into the movie theater, but he also tagged the dang candy, that is so desperate. If I was at that movie theater, I would say,
Get your ass out of here.
Get out of here.
Brock Purdy.
Yeah,
that's a bad look.
No, you owe us money for the
bad luck.
popcorn, or you owe us money for
You
the
know what?
candy.
Remember when Giannis didn't get seated at a local establishment? That didn't go over well for the local establishment.
That's true.
Yes. But if you were
It's quite a
if you were allowed to sneak in anything to a movie theater, what would be the number one thing that you would sneak in?
Number one, above anything else, would indeed be carbless. That's because carbless, man, it doesn't matter if I'm watching a movie, hanging out on a beautiful night like tonight, going to a Brewer game, hanging out by the lake or barbecues. Carbless is my go-to drink. There's a flavor for everybody. Like the fruit flavors, a fruit flavor on a night like tonight would be absolutely perfect. Cranberry, black cherry, lemon lime, or classic cocktails, Paloma and Moscow Mule, and the margarita 4-pack just screams of summer. But not only that, I mean, man, I'm working out. I'm trying to eat healthy, just like my other food I'm sneaking into. Carbless has guilt-free experience. No carbs, no sugars, 100 calories per can, gluten-free, and less carbonation leading to less bloat. It's just a guilt-free experience when I drink Carbless. If you have not discovered why Less is More and drink Carbless, then you need to now. Drink Carbless, Less is More. Find them online and at retailers near you.
Kyle Brust Nortman will be with you on 94.5 ESPN, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, and of course streaming on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee. It's Jim, Matt, and Molly coming up next in Madison, but we got a lot to get to still. Kyle's big Packers question of the day, Brian Balaga, and a whole lot more. Don't go anywhere. Kyle Brust-Nortman continues next in 2 minutes.
Busch Light is not only as cold and smooth as the mountain stream, it's also brewed for the farmers and ranchers. Ben Brust here. Join me in saying cheers to those who work in the backbone in the state of Wisconsin. Pick up your limited edition Busch Light corn cans today. For every case of these limited edition cans, Busch